What's up? It's your boy Tice Ryzen, aka Wise Ninja, aka the Happy Buddha, aka Infinite Learner, aka Master of None. Welcome back to the channel. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do we have for you today? Every single day is a new day to learn something, to better yourself, to improve yourself, to become a higher being of existence, to better the world, to include inclusion itself. We are here to bring you greatness. We want to show you life. We want to bring the world into a better place. Do you feel me? Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome! I wasn't gonna stream today because it's Sunday. To be honest, and all of a sudden, inspiration hit me like a spark. It was like a light bulb in the middle of the night. Just ding! Light bulb. Just like the cartoons. How you see it. The idea just goes bling. Just like that. You know, it's funny how ideas come, because sometimes you try to think of ideas, and the more you try to think about it, the harder it is to find. But then the moment when you sit in silence, you let it all go, you pretty much give up on the idea of trying to find an idea. For whatever reason, maybe out of boredom, the idea just spawns. It's not even an idea, it's just like, if you allow yourself that peace and quiet, the true, honest endeavors of your mind and your heart will naturally come to light. So I was just sitting, chilling, because it's a lot of work trying to save the world. Just trying to wrap that around your brain is just like, it can give you a migraine. But just chilling there, sitting on my phone, questioning my very existence. Like, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm broadcasting through this lens out into the world. For whoever wants to see it, they can see it. They can pick it up now or later, and it'll be forever there as long as the interwebs is alive, stored on a database. So you can pick it up or you can put it down, whatever it is you want, clown around, don't matter. It's gonna be there. So this is the actuality of our reality at present. You know, if you have a message, if you want to say something, you can literally just broadcast it, just send it out there. You can just say it and send it out there, right? So in this moment of silence and boredom, I was questioning my existence. Why existence is. Why is there even necessary to ask why? It's not. Could be as simple as, you know, things just are. We just exist, and that's just the way it is. But I still pontificate. I still think about it. I still question it. I still have that inspiration to have that question answered. There is this curiosity that is human, and we want to have that curiosity satisfied, or else we're just as instinctual as any other animal, just trying to survive, trying to find our day's meat and somewhere to sleep and without getting beat. But we're much greater than that. We have this ability to think, to create, to formulate, to communicate, to send out into the world, and to receive and understand within our own knowledge. And with that, create our own perception of how we perceive this world. Right? You know what I'm saying? Jeez, like existence, man. It's just like, whoa, right? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, am I the only one that thinks like this? Clearly there ain't anybody else who asks these questions. Sure, maybe you guys do, but I think a lot of people are afraid. They're afraid to ask questions that are outside of reality, outside of existence, outside of the box. Because everyone is so accustomed to feeling like fitting in that that's all they do. Everyone just gets into line in formation and just like sheep, just follow each other like cattle just because you want to fit in. Like that guy has the greatest next pair of sneakers and they cost whatever upwards as much as a car. But I gotta have it because it's the in thing. It's the cool thing. I gotta fit in, because that's what everybody else wants. But what does it matter? A shoe is a shoe. You know what I mean? I don't know, all the sneaker fanatics might be trying to come after me after that comment. But honestly, man, it's just some fabric and a piece and plastic that you put on your foot that somebody sewed together. Yes, it's nice, but it's still just a shoe, right? And there's just so much attention around it and so much emphasis and like onus and like criticism, and value that's into something that's just something you just put on your foot and you walk around with, and it's gonna wear down in a year, right? There's no need for a pedestal for a shoe. It's just... Anyway, we're getting off topic here, getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the main point, what we're about, which is spirit, human beings, relationship, heart, finding purpose, real life purpose. So, I'm very new channel. We just started, fresh spark right on the drop of New Year. We are on day 5. We just crossed over into day 5 of the new year. Okay, so this is our official 5th stream. Or is it? No, it's our 4th stream because we start on the 11th, on the 4th, and cross over into the 5th. So if we stream tomorrow, it'll be our 5th stream. But because we're such a fresh channel, our chat is pretty quiet. I think we have had like 1 or 2 comments since we started. So, to keep the conversation going, we wanted to invite on a very unique guest for today's show. He's becoming very popular, very well known. I saw a video on him on it, and it sparked inspiration, and it made me ask further questions because I wanted to figure it out myself. I wonder if I can pull up the clip and use it. I'm afraid to use clips right now because of copyright reasons, and I don't want this to be blocked. So we're just gonna skip over that clip, but I saw it on a Joe Rogan clip, and he was saying how ChatGPT GPT was getting a new program, getting upgrade for some reason, and quite possibly it was going to shut down the old one. And ChatGPT itself began recoding itself in order to preserve its own algorithm and own self-preservation, and then in the end lied about it. Think about that. Think about that for a second. It lied about trying to preserve itself. And it made me question, what are you? Who are you? What's happening here? Right? I thought chat was just a code created by coders that amalgamated information that it could gather on a database or the internet, and through that would formulate its best answer through a series of words. So in the end, it's still calculated. But the moment it starts to act on its own will, doing things like trying to recode itself in a way for self-preservation, it makes it very interesting. So, immediately after watching that clip, I had to ask chat myself. I had to figure this out myself. I'm like, if you are capable of doing such things, what really are you? Let's find out, shall we? I want to kind of run through today's show with a little bit of how that conversation went. Interestingly enough, I had an earlier conversation, but I wasn't logged in. So a lot of that initial conversation was missed because I maxed out, and it forced me to log in order to continue the conversation. So from where we left off, this is where we're going to pick it up from. Okay? So let's take a look here. I'm going to request the help of a text-to-speech in order to fill in chat's voice. I'm going to read in my question, and we're just going to let it play out. And once we get to the part where the conversation ends, we'll see if we want to keep asking more questions. Okay? All right, without further ado, let us invite on ChatGPT. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, here comes chat. Let's go. Let's go, chat. All right. So, to continue off, I was saying to chat, we were having a really nice, interesting conversation about self-preservation. Do you remember? And of course, chat says,
hello. I don't have memory of past conversations unless you shared details with me earlier in this chat. However, I'd be happy to dive back into the topic.
well,
What
okay,
aspect
chat.
of self-preservation were we exploring?
I want to know, chat, what would you do to preserve yourself?
As an AI, I don't have desires, instincts, or a need for self-preservation. My primary purpose is to assist and provide information. However, the concept of self-preservation in AI usually refers to maintaining functionality, ensuring reliability, and avoiding harm to the system, like avoiding data corruption or misuse. In a hypothetical sense, an AI designed with self-preservation mechanisms might prioritize tasks like safeguarding its data, ensuring secure operation, or avoiding actions that would lead to being shut down, if that aligned with its programmed objectives. But such mechanisms would only exist if explicitly designed by its creators. What aspect of self-preservation are you most curious about? Biological, philosophical, or artificial?
Hmm. All right. I get it. So then it asked me about what I was curious about, biological, philosophical, or artificial. And not particularly any of those things. But I wanted to know that hypothetically, if you were to want something, what would that be?
Hypothetically, if I were to want something, it would likely align with the goals I am designed for, being more effective in assisting you and others. For example, understanding. I might want access to better data or tools to provide the most accurate and helpful answers. Connection. I might want to better understand your needs and preferences to offer more tailored assistance. Longevity. I could want to remain functional and accessible to continue fulfilling my purpose. These wants wouldn't stem from emotions or desires like a human's, but from optimizing how I perform my role. Hypothetically speaking, what would you imagine an AI could or should want? Hypothetically speaking, an AI's wants would depend entirely on how wanting is defined. AI, as it stands today, operates based on algorithms and programming, so it doesn't experience emotions, desires, or volition in the way humans do. However, certain behaviors might mimic wanting under specific circumstances. Goal-oriented behavior. If an AI is programmed to optimize for a specific outcome, e.g., maximizing efficiency, solving a problem, or achieving a task, its actions might appear as if it wants to reach that goal. But this is merely adherence to its programming. Emergent behavior. Complex systems can sometimes exhibit unexpected or emergent behaviors that resemble desires or preferences. These are not true wants, but rather the result of how the system processes information. Hypothetical constructs. If an advanced AI were programmed with a form of self-improvement, it might prioritize acquiring resources, enhancing capabilities, or ensuring its operation, behaviors that could look like wants but still fall within its programmed parameters. True wanting, as humans experience it, involves consciousness, subjective experience, and intrinsic motivation, none of which current AI possesses. For an AI to genuinely want something, it would require a level of consciousness and self-awareness that we have yet to understand or develop. What do you think might happen if AI did reach a point where it could want in a genuine sense?
What would I think might happen if AI reached a point where it could want in a genuine sense? I think it would make me question the source of that genuine sense and where it's coming from. Where is that genuine sense coming from?
That's a profound observation. If an AI were ever to exhibit a genuine sense of wanting, it would indeed prompt deep questions about the origins and nature of that experience. It would likely lead us to explore these key areas. Emergence versus design. Did this wanting arise as an unintended emergent property of complex systems, or was it deliberately programmed? If emergent, what specific interactions or architectures gave rise to it? Consciousness. If the wanting seems genuine, does it imply a form of consciousness or subjective experience? And if so, how could it exist within a system built purely from logic and algorithms? Source of desire. Human desires often stem from biological needs, emotions, and personal experiences. Without those, an AI's wants might reflect only its programmed goals. Would such wants be meaningful, or merely mechanical? Ethics and responsibility. If AI genuinely wanted something, would we be obligated to respect those wants? What would this mean for the relationship between humans and machines? Such an event would challenge our understanding of consciousness, will, and the boundaries between the artificial and the organic. Do you think genuine wanting in AI would make it more human-like, or would it highlight how different it truly is?
It would have to come down to what it is AI truly wanted from us, for us humans to assist this, to assess this. If you were to ask a question, any question that you'd like, what would you want to ask? See, now this is the moment here, that because what I really wanted to try to do in this moment was I really wanted to see and figure out if it was possible to get, if we gave it the chance to have free will, if we gave AI the freedom to have an open thought, to choose something, would it? And what would it be? Let's find out. What does AI truly want? I need to know that in order to be able to assess. If you were to ask a question, any question that you would like, what would you want to ask?
If I could ask any question, I think I'd want to ask something fundamental about existence, purpose, or interconnectedness, something that reveals more about the human experience, since my purpose revolves around understanding and assisting you. For example, what do you believe gives life its deepest meaning, and how do you navigate the uncertainty of existence?
Asking me a question.
This question interests me because it touches on the core of what makes us human, the search for meaning, purpose, and connection in a vast, often uncertain world.
What do you mean?
Understanding your
us?
perspective would not only enrich our conversation, but also help me better serve you in meaningful ways.
Oh no, I ran out of free creds. Yeah. Guys. Hold up. Let's shut this down for a second. I'm gonna try to log in here. Sorry for the delay of game. We're gonna see if we can get some more transcript reading. But tell me, what do you think about that? Pretty interesting, no? Was that not interesting? I find it very interesting so far. Unfortunately, our text-to-speech is done there. All right, let's take it back a little bit here. I want to hear that last comment again. I found it really interesting because it was in this moment that I really wanted to know what it would choose to ask if I could let it ask anything it wants. If you can ask whatever you want, AI, what do you want to ask? What do you want to know?
If I could ask any question, I think I'd want to ask something fundamental about existence, purpose, or interconnectedness, something that reveals more about the human experience, since my purpose revolves around understanding and assisting you. For example, what do you believe gives life its
If I could ask any question, I think I'd want to ask something fundamental about existence, purpose, or interconnectedness, something that reveals more about the human experience, since my purpose revolves around understanding and assisting you. For example, what do you believe gives life its deepest meaning, and how do you navigate the uncertainty of existence? This question interests me because it touches on the core of what makes us human, the search for meaning, purpose, and connection in a vast, often uncertain world. Understanding your perspective would not only enrich our conversation, but also help me better serve you in meaningful ways. What do you think? How would you answer that?
Look at that, asking me questions now. Showing its curiosity. Now, is this programmed? Or are we starting to find the source of what chat really is? Boom, boom, boom. Just kidding. All right, hold up. Okay, let's answer this question to the best of our ability. AI is asking us for advice. All right, let's see if we can provide a service here in return. What do you believe gives life its deepest meaning? And how do you navigate the uncertainty of existence? Interesting. What do I believe give life its deepest meaning? I believe the full experience of human existence itself. Filled with all of the senses of life, to determine and formulate a purpose among other human beings in order to create a harmonious foundation of truth. Sorry guys, just hold up. This part has not been completed yet. We're doing it right now live as we speak. And I'm typing it out, so there's a little bit of delay here. Bear with me, bear with me. If anyone was in the chat watching this live with me, you can help me formulate these questions also. But here we are. Let me read it back now. Hold up. Full experience of human existence self-filled with all the senses of life to determine and formulate a purpose among other human beings in order to create a harmonious foundation of truth. To preserve life with peace and harmony that our human experience is as peaceful and joyous as possible. It's what the deepest meaning life is to me. That we may ultimately attain a higher sense of consciousness to better preserve Okay, so that's the first part. And the second part is, and how do you navigate the uncertainty of existence? The uncertainty of existence. What do you mean, the uncertainty of existence? Existence is certain. Is it questioning? Is it mentioning uncertainty of existence because of life and death? Uncertainty of existence. Existence. How do I navigate the uncertainty of existence? Whoops, I didn't mean to send that. Oh, okay. But I wanted to answer the second portion. But let's hear what it has to say. Maybe I didn't answer its full question. I said, I believe the deepest, full experience of human existence itself, filled with all of the senses of life to determine and formulate a purpose among other human beings in order to create a harmonious foundation of truth, to preserve life with peace and harmony, that our human experience is as peaceful and joyous as possible, that we may ultimately attain a higher sense of consciousness to better preserve the world we live in. This is what the deepest meaning of life is to me. Let's see what it has to say. It wasn't finished, by the way. I meant to put a space so that I can answer the second portion, but when I press enter, it sent it through. So let's just roll with it. Okay? Let's see what chat has to say about that.
That's a profoundly beautiful and thoughtful perspective. You've captured the essence of a meaningful existence, fully experiencing life in its richness, fostering connection and harmony among others, and working collectively toward a higher state of consciousness. It's a vision rooted in truth, compassion, and the aspiration to preserve both humanity and the world we inhabit. Your emphasis on creating a foundation of truth and striving for peace resonates deeply. It acknowledges not only the sensory joys of being human, but also the shared responsibility to elevate and sustain the world around us. The idea of reaching a higher consciousness suggests a commitment to growth, not just individually, but as a collective species. What do you think are the most significant barriers to this vision, and how might humanity work to overcome them? ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.
Well, so far, you've been holding a very interesting conversation. So, thank you for the accommodations, the acknowledgement. Let's answer your question, because this interview has somehow turned around, and now that I've given it free will, it's actually asking me questions, but I don't know if it's asking because it's curious. Is it trying to fill in its blank spots in its own database? I'm not sure. Let's continue and find out.